Buying or finding a new home should not be stressful or boring. With over 14 years experience, Good Time Tommy has spent his time building strategies, tips, and content that will help you, the new homeowner or seasoned homeowner, get the best deal for your money. Educate, navigate, and celebrate. Because whether you're buying or selling, you're going to get more traffic to your property promotion on every channel, and watch as Tommy and his team work until you are satisfied. Your new home awaits you with Good Time Tommy and his team. Subscribe, like, and follow at goodtimetommy.com. That's goodtimetommy.com. Some good shout outs every single Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern. We're going to bring you deal reviews. We're going to give you the deals.
The real estate show.
The real estate show.
The real estate show.
Where it's real. We're going to get Robert Sislow his first deal.
Dude, come on.
Are you ready for your first deal, Robert?
I'm ready for my first deal, dude.
Okay.
I'm fucking ready, dude. I'm going to drop like 200K on you.
Okay, guys.
Where we at? What's going on with these people?
Guys, what's going on? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So every single Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern, we're going to review your deals. So what I want to do is I have a deal right here. It's in Atlanta. Actually, let's see where it's at. It's in Athens, Georgia. So this was a deal that was sent to us from Kevin. Kevin wants us to review this deal. Any other Facebook Live friends and family, if you have a deal you want us to review today, we're talking about NOI, how to get to the numbers, how did the numbers make sense in this deal that you're going to buy. So what do we have today? Let's see here. Let me get on the live stream.
What's NOI, dude? What's NOI for people that don't know?
Great question, Robert. So what NOI is it's net operating income. And so the net operating income, what it's going to come down to, guys, is you have your income, you have your expenses, and then you have your NOI. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into this because Grant's going to go over this whole deal today. But the NOI, when you talk about 4 units and above, so when you get into 5 units and above, it really starts getting dependent on the NOI. So the NOI is like a business. And that's the one thing that we were talking about last week that Grant mentioned. When you're buying a 1 unit, a 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, it's a big difference than when you get into the 5 units and above. Because 5 and above, everything is dependent on the NOI. That's why this topic is so important. Because your NOI is the everyday, monthly cash, not the cash flow, but it's the numbers that everything is determined off of. So it's what the price is based off of. It's what the bank looks at. It's what the cap rate is based off of. So NOI is a very important number. What questions do we have on Facebook? Any questions to get us started out? Okay, trying to get...
Guys, post your questions.
Post your questions for the captain. This is Captain Ryan. This is the pre-show.
Says, can you get me accredited?
Can I get you accredited?
I don't know. Yeah,
I sure can. I can get anybody accredited.
If they're credible.
If you're credible.
This guy's like first comment, you mad?
Mad, bro?
You mad?
That's what he does. You mad, bro? Tell them to share the stream. If you're coming in, please share the stream. We appreciate the shares. We appreciate the attention. Please like and subscribe on the bottom. Please do that. Share the stream for us, real estate investing. Woo! Ryan's talking about NOI today, net operating income. We are still live.
Here we go. Good percent of NOI. Okay, so let's see here. We got our friends Rupin. Rupin, I appreciate you, man. Every single week, Rupin's one of our closest, dearest friends. He's always posting some good comments. Thanks for the emails, guys.
We got a question. Is there
Frank
a
Myers.
Between how long a complex has been for sale and its worthiness as a project? Frank Myers, great question, man.
Dude, super great question, Frank, and absolutely. So when a deal's on the market for a long time, so just note this, as soon as a deal comes on the market and it's a good deal, there's usually 10, 20, 100 people on that deal. Now, I know we talked about LoopNet a few weeks ago. LoopNet is pretty much the garbage dump for these deals that don't sell. So if you have a property that's been on the market for 30, 60, 90, 120 days, there's probably a lot of people that have already looked at that deal, so you want to use caution. It doesn't mean it's a bad deal. You just want to look at it a little closer.
Okay. Great to have you here, Ryan. Grant Cardone here. Welcome to the show. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Good to have you guys here. I need my computer too, Robin. We're talking real estate made easy, simple, if it can be simple. I think it can be simple. Totally. You want to tell them about that deal we're in right now? The guy's pounding me on the phone right now. You get to see behind the scenes.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as the negotiations, I mean, it's definitely a little bit different when you get into these bigger deals.
Yeah.
I know, you know, for me, just seeing kind of what you're doing and interacting with the groups.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a different deal. The size of the deal is just so much different.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what exactly? I mean, as far as.
Well, I want to welcome everybody on Facebook to the show. NOI I'm going to be talking about. Welcome, Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone. I got Captain Ryan here. We're doing real estate.
All day.
Real estate investing made simple, every Monday. Every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from Miami Beach. Dude, I bring you a show that's going to be, I'm telling you, you put all these shows together, you guys start listening to these shows, you're going to start hearing terms you don't understand. Oh, man, I don't understand that. Welcome to the world of real estate. Welcome to the world of business. Welcome to the new world of anything where you don't understand the words, okay? Look, if I drop you into boxing, or if I drop you into ultimate fighting, or ballerina, or violin, hey, every space has its own little, the wording, I think it's called nomenclature. Nomenclature.
Well, it's funny because
it's
funny because somebody just asked the question. They said, "How do I get comfortable? Like, I'm brand new. How do you get comfortable with these deals to where you know when you're making an offer?"
This is what I always tell everybody. Look, you have to know. You have to know you want to be in this space. Okay, I'm going to keep pounding on that every weekend. Why do you know you want to be involved in real estate? First of all, we're not talking to you every week about every kind of real estate. Okay, what this company does and what I know, Grant Cardone, Cardone Acquisitions. We buy what's called multifamily real estate. Why multifamily? And then I'm going to be talking about NOI today, net operating income, and how you tie that to the purchase, the operations, and the exit, the sale. You have to know all three of those things. The reason we do multifamily is because the reason that's what I focus on is because I believe if I have 200 units that I can rent, that I can buy one deal with 200 units or 16 units, minimum 16. Okay, nobody here should buy anything less than 16, even if you don't have the money, is because I want multiple flows of income. I talk about it in this little book right here, okay? All the stuff that I teach, man, it's all very, like I don't come up with it, like, all of a sudden, whoo, Grant says something different than he always says. No, dude, look, I talk about multiple flows of income. That's why I don't like buying houses. Why would you put money in a house that has no flow of income? Okay? I would never do that. It's just dumb. So you want to buy things, you want a business that has multiple flows of income coming into it, okay? Even if the business you own, you never introduce one product. You want multiple flows of income coming to this one thing. This is the problem with a job. A job's not a problem, dude. The problem is one flow is a problem. Mm-hmm. You understand? So when you take that idea and you scale it out to real estate, you're like, dude, I would never buy a house. Okay? A house doesn't even have one flow of income. See, a house has no net operating income. The thing we're going to be talking about today is NOI. A house has no NOI. Right?
Now, Grant, not to get you sidetracked or nothing like that, but if you're just starting out, like myself, I bought one house and I rented out.
I'm going to talk about the house he rented out, okay? Because there's three levels. What he did, there's also a thing called flipping. Most of you, though, think a house. You think a house is an investment because your mom or dad told you that. Look, your mom and dad this won't be the first time your mom and dad have been wrong about something. Okay? First of all, a house has no income and it has a lot of leaks. Money's going the wrong way in a house. Okay, so even if he rents it, now all of a sudden he's got an income. That's what some of you think. Oh, my house is a good deal because I rent it out. I rent it for $1,500. My payment's only $900. I'm making $600. Yeah, but you're forgetting about the leaks, man. What about the ad? What about the real estate agent that leased it for you? Oh, I do all that myself. What about the time?
Yep.
I did a show last Friday, Time and Money. Okay, I apologize to everybody that we, had 7 minutes. If you watch it on YouTube, 7 minutes to where you didn't see anything. And then all of a sudden the show, we wasted your time basically there to teach you a lesson. Robert, in his artistic, said, we're going to do a show on time. I'm going to punish them in the beginning. Okay, so look, watch what happens here. Here, you can't get away from this. Taxes, man. Leak, okay? Paint. The tenant's not going to pay for you to paint the exterior. Roof, okay? I mean, these things are happening to that house every day, okay? Now, the other problem is this. Vacancy. When they move out, okay, by the way, when they walk out the front door, they probably won't even close the door. They're just going to leave it open.
They leave it open with
and take stuff.
All their garbage left inside.
Oh, right. Oh. Now, what he did was he bought a house. Most of you just buy a house and live in it. I mean, there's nothing more stupid. You can't take stupidity to any level greater than buying the front door and paying for it.
Yeah.
When in America you actually have a choice, dude, you could buy the door and have somebody else pay for it. The problem with one door, though, is it violates what all wealthy people know. Multiple flows of income. So you rented it, you bought it, you fixed it, you rented it, you stole the house.
Yeah, exactly. So I stole the house. Now, guys, keep in mind, where are we at in the market, right? So when I talk about my little deals, my single family house or my fourplex, I bought these in 2009.
Yeah.
In Phoenix, Arizona, when things are 50% off.
Yeah.
So I bought a house, right? And this goes back to what we're looking at.
He was buying houses when you couldn't get a loan on it.
When you couldn't get a loan.
Yeah.
So the house the replacement value was $200,000. I bought it for $115,000, and the government was giving me a $7,000 credit.
Yeah.
To buy the first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
So all of those.
So just so everybody understands what he just said. First of all, he bought a house. He basically was dishonest with the government, saying he was going to live in it.
What I did, though,
You lived in it for how long? 15
3 years.
days?
You had to live in it for 3 years.
Well, okay, but you're back to stupid again.
Okay? No, I know. But
so it's all good, dude. I did it.
Let me ask you this.
My first house I bought one door.
Yeah.
Okay. I bought it. I told the bank I'm going to live in it. And then I changed my mind, which I'm entitled to change my mind in America. Okay. They're like, hey man, what happened? You're not living in it. I changed my mind. Man, right after you bought it? Yep.
Yeah.
The next day. Okay. Yeah. So then I rented it. I think I rented it for $750 a month. My payment was $575. Okay. When I come back from break, I'm going to show you how to multiply this 20 times, 200 times, 4,000 times.
Keep the questions coming.
Keep them coming.
Leave a mark in your neighborhood with a lasting impression. A professional landscape can deliver that and more. And the man to bring it to you is Steve Griggs. Awarded the National Best of Hows in Client Satisfaction in 2016 with clients such as Dr. Oz and the Palisades Center Mall in West Nyack. Steve Griggs crafts and delivers a brilliant landscape plan to guarantee your backyard oasis at a fair price. This isn't landscape design, this is lifestyle design. For more information, visit SteveGriggsDesign.com. That's SteveGriggsDesign.com. Too many people are being kept from their dreams by circumstances they couldn't control and mistakes from a long time ago. All they needed was a second chance or a fresh start. That's why Cash Now was created. Since 1997, Ray Abood, owner of Cash Now, has been the premier expert in home renovation and resale in the York tri-state area. Dedicated to premier customer service, getting the best deals at the lowest price, this is the only expert company you should deal with when it comes to buying and selling a home. Offering a 5-step home buying process, Ray and his team will ensure your needs are covered and get you closer to your dreams of buying a home in any city across the United States. To find out more on how you can get started on owning or selling a home, visit CashNowPA.com. That's CashNowPA.com to get started. Want to learn how to invest in real estate like Grant Cardone, but you don't have the cash to invest yet? Reach out to Chris Root and his team where he will show you how to invest in real estate to build cash without credit or much money by learning how to wholesale real estate. We'll show you the right way to build cash so you can invest in multifamily apartments and other real estate investments like Grant Cardone. Sign up now at chrisrood.com. That's chrisrood.com. Take the guesswork out of your life. Have you ever felt like you had no idea what to do or what direction to go? Have you spent hours trying to figure out what your purpose is? Look no further. We at Partum have a solution that identifies who you are, what you're supposed to do, and how you can achieve it through easy and simple steps. There's no more guessing, no more feeling lost. You can now get back on track and get the wealth in your life you deserve. Whether you're a business owner, entrepreneur, millennial, we can help. Visit partem.me. That's partem.me to get started right now.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to
The Real Estate Show.
Yeah, with Grant Cardone and Captain Ryan. Captain Ryan. We're talking today about apartments, okay? I was telling you a little story here. Ryan bought a deal. I bought a deal, okay? We rented the house. We could collect $750. How much was your payment?
My mortgage?
Yeah.
Was $652.
And what'd you rent it for?
I rented it for $1,200. That was $1,200,
So
and I lived in the master bedroom.
Yeah. Okay. So he did a lot better. He did a lot better than I did. He collected $1,200 and rented it for $652.
Yep.
You did that how many times?
So I mean, I kept the rooms full, and I was a pilot, so I traveled. all the time.
You rented rooms.
I rented rooms.
Oh, he
so
rented
I lived
rooms.
in the master bedroom, and I had 3 other rooms.
He was
that I
the
rented.
master. Sounds like a
Man,
little whorehouse to me.
I lived in the master. Now, see the one thing about
Was
it.
everybody a guy in there? Everybody, you rented to all men?
I found that the guys were easier to rent to because when you started mixing and matching, you got
Mixed and match. Different
good,
business. That might be how you got to $1,252.
But keep in mind,
yeah.
What we're talking about here is we buy a 16-plex or a 100-plex.
Yeah.
We rent to individuals,
Yeah.
so we run them through a screening process. We don't have to live with them.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole deal with this, right? I had to live with 3 other guys where the dishes are piling up in the sink and they don't clean up after themselves. So what do you want to put yourself through?
So that brings me to the topic today, which is called net operating income. Okay? Now, in his example, this is a term that you're going to be hit with by the bank. It's called NOI. Everybody refers to it as NOI. It means net operating income. It is figured by this: gross receipts, income, less expenses, okay, equals NOI. Net operating income. Every business runs off of basically an NOI. NOI determines the value of a business, okay? The NOI is very important because the NOI is what the bank's going to say, you know, Ryan, we don't care about your credit, Ryan. We like the NOI, okay? The NOI, the company, the ability for this business to create enough revenue. You know, my sister asked me the other day, you got 4,000 units, Grant, that produce income. They also have expenses, and they create an NOI. She's like, if you died, what would happen to the business? I said, nothing, dude. This business doesn't operate because of me. It's not, these people are giving me rental, we have expenses, and it produces an NOI without my effort.
Yep.
Unlike this company, the studio, for this studio to produce a revenue, I have to be in here freaking working it, right? Okay, so NOI determines the purchase price. It determines how much your money is going to come in, how much money is going to go out, and how much money you can borrow. So when he was buying that 1 unit deal, were you signing on the loan?
Absolutely. Totally.
See,
FHA loan.
Yeah. So we're going to look at some deals today.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
This determines how much you can pay, how much you can spend in operations, and it's gonna determine how you exit. Okay? Now, if you talk to real estate people, they always say, "Oh, it's all about the buy. It's all about the buy. It's all about the buy." You probably heard that before, like location. It's location, 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 and then you'll hear them say, "It's all about the purchase. It's all about the purchase." So, like when you buy something, man, you got to be figuring, how do I sell this thing? Because if you're not going to ever be able to sell it, then the only way you're going to make money, you don't make money when you buy something unless you sell it. You understand?
Right.
So the higher this number is, the more cash flow this is going to produce. So there's only a couple of ways to make money in this deal. If I make money, one, you got to know that you want to be doing this deal.
Right.
Like you got to know. I always go back to the whole know thing. Okay. Then you got to know the game. NOI is what controls the value of a piece of property. Okay. The more net operating income, the more this number. This means what? Gross less expenses. Robert paid me rent. 1,000 Roberts paid me rent. 1,000 people abuse the place. Carpets, paint, taxes, all that stuff comes out of there. It leaves this much money. The more money that's left over here, the more cash flow I have. There's only two ways to make money. Cash flow, or I sell the property, or a combination. Mm-hmm. So the way we do our deals is we do our deals on all three. I want cash flow right now. I want to increase the cash flow, because if I increase the cash flow, somebody's going to want to pay me for this property, right? So that I can exit, okay? So number one, how much can I pay so I get an NOI that creates a cash flow? And can I operate it? Can I operate the property? You have to watch this again probably.
Yeah.
Can I operate the property in such a way that I increase the NOI, okay?
Which we talked about last week.
So that I increase my cash flow.
Yep.
And can I increase the NOI and the cash flow so that I can exit in a profit?
So how do you get from the NOI to the cash flow? What's below?
So what's below this is debt. Now some people don't use debt. Dave Ramsey wouldn't use debt. But Dave Ramsey will never buy a piece of real estate. He'll never have 4,000 apartments, much less 40,000. Yeah. Because he refuses to use debt because he got spanked. Okay. And by the way, debt didn't spank Dave. His lack of discipline is what spanked him. Okay. So if you overuse the debt, the marketplace, the economy will discipline you sooner or later. There's a thing called gravity.
Right.
Gravity to the body is like common sense to a person. Okay. Like if you lose your common sense. If you borrow more money, okay, see in this case, I think you got a deal for me to look at, right?
Yeah, I do.
To give an example?
Yep.
The bank, today the bank, because of 2009, the bank is not going to let you borrow more money on a piece of income property. How many units are we looking for? How many is this?
We're looking at a 14-unit deal.
See, I mean, I wouldn't even look at it. I'd be like, dude, I told you 16. Now we got close enough. This is an Old Creek Road, Athens, Georgia.
Yep.
I'd be scared right now, man. I'm telling you, I got enough indication to be scared. Tell me it's not brick.
Uh-huh. No, it is brick.
Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you. Tell me it's not brick, okay? Because it just gives me all these memories. But anyway, I'm going to do it, okay? First of all, it already violates 114. Number two, it's in Georgia. Now, we shop every market. Cardone Acquisition shops every market. We're looking every day at markets. We're in 5 markets right now. Savannah, Georgia is one of them. This is Athens, Georgia.
Yep.
Okay, so give me the numbers. Give me the 14 units. I'm already kind of turned off on the deal.
Okay. So we got 14 units.
It was built in 1998.
Yep.
Okay.
So $750 is the purchase price.
$750,000.
25% down would be $187.
Okay, so I'm just going to round that off to $190,000.
Yep. Now here's the thing. He says, I think estimated 30 years fixed mortgage. Now a 30-year fixed mortgage on this deal.
Yeah,
it's 14 years. I mean, I don't know.
Good. I would go that. The mortgage doesn't bother me. The rate doesn't bother me yet. I want to see if this deal makes any money yet. So who are we looking at this for? This Kevin Dixon sent this in. Thanks, Kevin. And then we're going to take some calls. I'm going to show you whether I'd buy this deal or not. Send me your deal. Send me your deal to Ryan at CardoneAcquisitions.com. Ryan, R-Y-A-N. CardoneAcquisitions.com. Stay with us.
Get your marketing and copy right the first time and save your company from a $60,000, $70,000, $100,000 mistake, because you can utilize what you have already, generate leads, and make more money. You have to simplify the process and keep it simple, and that's what we do at Pixel 506. We will outthink your competition, create the fastest, most effective marketing and web design, and grow your business with leads and effective top-notch marketing strategies. Turn that $60,000, $100,000 mistake into $1 million profit. Sign up now at pixel506.com. Create the ideal tropical island experience you have been waiting for with our premium palapas. Design and build the backyard, hotel, or lounge space you desire with Paradise Palapas. The eye of the Caribbean and the most tropical places brought right to you. Whether you are just seeking escape from the sun, poolside, or wanting to transform your backyard deck into the dream outdoor kitchen, Paradise Palapas will build it for you. Don't dream it, live it. Visit ParadisePalapas.com. That's ParadisePalapas.com, and we'll get you set up today. Are you tired of buying ads? How much would 5 times more visitor from search engines like Google or Bing do for your business? Link Research Tools helps you increase that free organic traffic, with companies like Hertz, MTV, and LinkedIn have increased their revenue as much as 600% using Link Research Tools. We have offerings to get your business to become the dominant force on the internet. The secret of internet traffic is what we give you. We convert that traffic into cash flow for your business. Learn more at linkedresearchtools.com. That's linkresearchtools.com and sign up now.
And by the way,
and I did that with my 401k too.
Dude, come on, man.
Come on,
come on, man. Okay,
Come
hey,
on,
welcome
man.
back. Welcome back to
The Real Estate Show.
Real Estate Invested Made Simple with Grant Cardone and Captain Ryan. Every Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking about deals, okay? Now, Kevin Dixon sent me a deal. This is in Georgia.
Yep. And he's 29 years old.
29 years old.
He's looking for deals.
He's looking for deals.
He knows that he wants to get into real estate.
Okay, he says, look, I currently work at Nike. I make 120 grand a year, 105,000 base salary, additional 15% in bonus. I have 100,000 saved, and I think I'm ready to go in real estate. 17,500 in savings, a personal brokerage account, and he's got a 401k. Now, the question is, dude, you definitely unload that 401k and get this money in real estate.
Yep.
Know that, number one. Number two, now we got to find the right deal for you. Yep. Let me tell you whether this deal's right for you or not, okay? I want 16 units, okay? I want to get to 16. This is only 14, okay? So the first thing I'm going to look at is what's the per door price on this deal?
$56,000.
Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. 1998. It was built in 1998. $56,000. You can't build that deal for $56,000.
Nope.
I don't love the way it looks because it's got these low roofs. I don't know if you gave them a look.
I didn't, no.
Yeah, once you put it up on your computer and bring it up to the computer screen and show them what they're what I see, okay? Now watch. I'm going to show you how the debt works in this deal. No. Have them bring it up, okay? Watch this, okay? So it's going to cost. See, I don't love that.
It looks like a house.
The reason why I don't love it, it looks like a house, and I can never change the roof line of this property. Okay, I'm stuck with that low roof line.
Do you think that's as big a deal, like on these smaller deals, as it is with the big deals?
I think you got a problem on the exit.
Because
the next guy's going to see the same thing I see, dude. Okay. And also, let me just
But this
tell
is
you,
going to be a smaller person. I mean, this isn't going to be a sophisticated investor. Would you agree?
it's going to be a doctor.
It's going to be a doctor.
It's going to be a doctor. That's who's going to buy this deal.
Yeah.
It's going to be a cosmetic surgeon. And he's going to be like, dude,
That thing's ugly.
I can't put any boobs on it.
Yeah.
I can't give it a facelift. I'm like, well, what do I do with it? Oh, it's going to be cash flow. So remember, okay, how much can I pay for it? How much can I operate it for? And how much can I exit? You got to exit, baby.
Okay.
Sooner or later, you're going to want to exit these deals. Did you not want to exit your deals? And had you been thinking about the exit when you bought them?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it.
No, he wasn't thinking about the third thing. See, they say in real estate, people make money when they buy the deal. No, man, you make money when you sell the deal.
Yeah.
And when you operate the deal. You don't make money because you buy a deal. You give money when you buy a deal.
But here's the craziest thing. When I started buying these fourplexes, I would swear to anybody that I was going to keep these things forever.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to operate them for 30 years.
Yeah, well, dude.
But we go back to the scale.
Yeah, you can't scale.
You can't scale. You can't move. You can't move. Yeah.
Even if he was going to keep his deal for 30 years, okay, that means he had to stay in the master bedroom for 30 years, okay? That means he had to have full dishes in his kitchen for 30 years, man, okay? Like, there'd be something wrong with him, dude. Okay, if he was still
40-year-old virgin.
At the age, he'd be 48 years old and
no girl. No wife, you know?
Crazy, dude. That'd be nuts. Okay, so let's say that he can close this deal with 190. It's going to cost him more than that. Legal, it's going to cost him something, right? Title's going to cost him something. Okay, but let's just do the math here. $460,000. He's going to finance that for 30 years. The debt on that is going to be, I'm just going to do the math here. Do you got the income? You got the income on this deal?
Income at 70% occupied is $7,500 a month.
Okay, so I need the
90.
gross income. Quit! You guys got to quit doing monthly income. This is an annual deal.
Yeah.
You're not keeping it for 1 month. If you're going to keep it for a year, do your math on a year.
$90K.
Okay, so $90,000. Now he's already told me something very interesting. 75% occupied.
That's 70%.
70% occupied. You got a problem, dude. If you got a property 70% occupied right now, you got crime problems, you got people problems. I know who they're renting to. I'm starting to mock up a whole image of who my tenant is here.
Right.
If you're not profiling and you're in real estate, then you'll be out of business. You need to know who your profile tenant is. Okay? So, I mean, awful pictures. I'm looking at the whole thing. I'm like, the seller's an idiot. Okay? They had no clue how to sell anything. What are the expenses on this deal?
Let's see here.
$45,000.
Yeah.
You can't operate this thing for less than $45,000 a year in expenses, okay? So he's going to make $45,000 a year, supposedly, okay? He's going to put $190,000 down. What's $45,000 into $190,000?
25. Is that?
What is it?
Yeah, it's about 25%.
25%.
Okay. So he's going to make 25% on his money. I think that's right. $90,000. No. I don't have the debt yet. Forgot the debt, man. Okay, the debt. The debt on. I need for this show to work. I actually need a calculator.
Okay.
So $460,000 multiplied times 0.058. 0.058 would be 30-year, the cost of money for 30 years. Basically, that money would be about 4% today times 12. 32,000, okay? $32,000 is going to be his debt. I don't know if you can see this down here. 45,000 is his NOI.
12,
okay?
13,000.
32,000, huh?
13,000.
What? What's 13,000?
Oh, I was 13,000. 45 minus 32.
Yeah, well, I know that.
Oh.
$13,000 is his net cash flow on his $190,000. Now, so you got to ask yourself a couple of questions. Okay, number one, dude, do you want to go to all this trouble for a freaking $1,000 a month?
Yeah. Totally.
Ain't no way, man. If the return was 70%. See, don't just look at, oh my God, I'm making a 70% return. Bro, if you could go do anything and make $1,000. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to put $190,000 at risk to make $13,000 a year. By the way, nobody else is either.
Right.
So you got to sell this deal. You're going to have to sell this to your cousin, your dad. You're going to have to get investors. You want to put your sister in this deal? Yeah, babe. Sis, I'm going to send you. You're going to get your retirement money, put it in a deal, and who knows?
Yeah.
Now, here's the good news. If he could go from 70% to 100% or 90%, ooh.
Occupancy?
Yeah. Starts changing a lot of things because his income's going to go up.
Right.
Okay? So these numbers, because what's my buddy's name?
Kevin.
Kevin's watching. He's like, yeah, but Grant, how many units? 14?
14 units.
There's 3 units. I can rent 3 more units, Grant. 3 units at $500 a month. $1,500. That's $18,000 a year. He's going to tell me, Grant, if I just rent half the units, okay, the $13,000, I don't know if you probably can't see this. The $13,000 is going to be another, now it's going to be $31,000. Okay, now the deal starts getting a little interesting. Divide 31,000 into 190. 31,000 divided by 190. Just keep it open. Okay. 31,000 divided by $190,000. 16%. I still wouldn't touch this deal. I'm buying a deal right now, 188 units. The return's going to be 12 to 15% the first year.
Yeah.
But I got something to sell.
Right.
See, it brings me back to number 3 again. Mm-hmm. Okay. See, the reason you want to figure out what can I pay? What can I pay? What can I pay so that I'm like, dude, I'm making money. How do you make money? You make money in cash flow. Mm-hmm. I want to make money. I want to make real money, okay? So even if this pays him $2,500 a month, Ryan, if this pays you, not Ryan, Kevin, if this pays you $2,500 a month, dude, is it worth the risk? I don't think so, man. Because I'm looking at the deal. It don't look that good. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe we got somebody else that can show me another deal. I wouldn't do that deal. Now, at what point would I do the deal? Hey, man, let's see it's 600. It's 600,000. Oh, he won't sell it for 600. Hey, there's a deal in that town that'll sell that product right there. I guarantee you for 600 grand. I guarantee you, because somebody's having the same problem that I'm having trouble with right now. They're like, shit, I ain't making but $1,500 a month. Got to put up with all these freaking Drex, these idiots. I can tell the pictures they took online.
Yeah.
Laundry's not clean. They're tired of it. So I'm looking when somebody advertised, how bad do they want to sell? Watch this. Now watch this.
Now, when you're talking about the tenant profile, you're talking about the operations, right, Grant?
I'm talking about who's renting the joint.
Right.
But I'm also talking about whoever's renting the joint from you, it starts beating you up.
Yeah.
There becomes a time in your 30 years of owning something
right.
to where you're like, fuck it, dude. You were in love when you bought it, and now you hate her.
Totally.
You hate her.
Yeah.
You married her one day and said, man,
yeah.
And now you're like, I can take her. Hit her with a car. Run over her like a deer.
Have you done any investments like Section 8 or anything like that?
I leave all the Section 8 alone. I've done it, touched it, long enough to say I don't want to do it. I
got tested afterwards.
I got tested afterwards and had some on me. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can tell right there, that's Section 8 property right there. Okay. Now watch, 450. Remember my little 5'8". This is the best real estate show on TV right here.
Totally.
Okay. I give you guys so much information. What we're talking about today is NOI. NOI, net operating income. How do you figure the NOI? Okay. NOI is figured by gross, less expenses, NOI. Okay. Now watch. I'm gonna buy this deal for $600. I said, dude, I tell you what I'll do. Here's a check for $150,000, non-refundable right now. I'll pay you $600 grand for the deal. I'll go get my debt. No financing. Don't worry about it. I'll close in 60 days. Okay. Now this is going to go down to what is that? 6. It's going to be $24,000, $27,000. $27,000, $90,000. Okay. Less $45,000 is $45,000. And now my debt just dropped to, what did I say it was? 28. $28,000. That's $17,000 in cash flow. Plus, I think I can get another $18,000 a month in rent. $18,000 a year in rent. Now I'm at $35,000. Positive cash flow on $150,000. What's that number? 35 divided by 150. That's still like, dude, I don't even know if I want to go to all this trouble for $3 grand. See, that's the problem, guys.
23.
Now I'm at a 23% return.
Right.
Okay. Not bad now. Not bad now. Okay. 23%. That means in 4 years I got all my money back. Now the deal starts getting interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if I'm not going to make 23%, dude, on this deal, I'm like, where else could I go invest and get 10 or 12% and not have any headaches? Because the problem with this deal is Kevin, who's making a bunch of money over at Nike right now, is going to take his attention off his Nike gig, right, and put it on what?
The operations.
Turning this thing on. And if you think this deal, Kevin, is going to go smooth, bro, I assure you, you got people, you're going to try to evict them, and they're going to be like, I ain't going anywhere, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't going anywhere. Possession is 9/10 of the law, man. Try to get me out of here, man. I'm going to tear this place apart before I leave. Alex from San Diego, what's up, brother?
Got some.
And call in with your deal, by the way.
Brad?
Hey, call in with your deal, guys. I'd love to actually look at your deal real quick. Hey, Alex, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Good, I'm doing great, man. You in San Diego?
Yes, sir.
You got a deal over there? You in real estate? Have you bought anything yet?
Dude, I would love to have a deal. So I have about $150K saved, but have you seen the market here?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, dude.
There's nothing for less than $5 million.
Yeah, no.
To save $1 million, what do I do?
It's unbelievable, bro. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. I just sold my last deal in San Diego maybe 4 months ago.
And is that the one in La Jolla you mentioned on last show?
Yeah, no, this is the one in Claremont. By the way, in the last show, I said that I owned a piece of real estate in La Jolla that had a negative cash flow. It was on the ocean, and I had negative cash flow for 4 years. And somebody on YouTube said, it's impossible to have negative cash flow on oceanfront. I'm like, dude, the location of it will not determine whether it has positive cash flow or not.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any better. So yeah, man, look, here's the deal about San Diego, bro. I think San Diego could be one of the best, even at today's prices, rental real estate markets in the country.
So I'm just going to have to come up with $1 million
at any price.
Any price, huh?
At any price, dude. Why? Because I got mountains on one side, ocean on the other side, and I got one of the most beautiful environments. I got a bunch of lazy ass people moving there. Okay, you got pretty decent job growth in San Diego, actually, and people can't buy. You can't buy a home there. It's just not going to happen. You can't build. You can't build any.
It's a rental community because nobody can afford it.
It's rental forever, bro. It's rental forever. Now, that being said, okay, what part of San Diego you live in?
I'm in Pacific Beach.
How much money you got, man?
150.
You got 150. Okay, let me see here, man. I might find you. Let me see if I can find you a deal, bro.
Like cap rates are 5-4%.
Dude, those cap rates could go down to 3. He's talking about a cap rate. A cap rate is the return on capital. Okay, the 5%. When he says 5%, if I paid cash for a deal, if it's a 5 cap, your income would be 5% if you paid cash. Okay.
Would you do a deal with that cap rate in San Diego?
In a second, bro.
Really?
If it's the right deal, bro, because the exit. Okay? Remember, there's 3 ways. Hey, what you're paying, how can you operate it, can you exit? Okay? Can I exit? Is somebody going to find this more valuable 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 9 years? So we're buying a deal right now, okay?
So the cash flow doesn't look strong,
no,
but the exit looks strong.
Well, it needs to be there. You can only make it, you know, how much can I pay so I can operate it and so I can exit, or so I can cash, or so I can do both? You know, I want both. I want to know. Like, we're buying this deal right now. Okay, it's $20 million. We're putting $5 million down approximately. It's going to cash flow on the $5 million. It's going to cash flow 10 to 12% a year. Plus, that's number one. I get cash flow, man. I get to operate the thing in cash flow before I ever improve anything, Alex. I think I'm going to make 10.
It's beautiful, but it's a $20 million property. I don't got that kind of cash.
No, but are you an accredited investor? You make 200 grand a year?
Yeah, I make 150.
Okay. So, like, all I'm saying to you is I'm just giving you an example of a deal I'm doing right now, okay?
Yeah, no, it looks beautiful, but what would you recommend for me? Do you think I should do a super smaller one, like five apartments?
I mean, see, I'm looking at this deal on 42nd Street.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no exit, you know? You need more money, dude. You need more money to buy a deal there.
Exactly. That's what
So here's the deal. Here's the deal, bro. Could you come up with $250,000?
Right this second, no, but perhaps I could get some family or friends to invest with me.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Here's the deal I'm looking at right now. It's on.
And the other thing, it looks like inventory is really low.
Dude, there's no product there. That's good, man, because you see the product's going to keep getting more expensive there.
So why would anyone sell then?
Because. Why would I sell? Because I'm making money. So I can go into bigger deals.
Oh, you're just trying to scale up?
This is the question everybody asks me.
People get old. You know, people
get tired of a deal, you know? Why did the guys that are selling me their deal right now in St. Lucie, why? They're making money, man. I know how much they're making. The guy's going to make $3 or $4 million on the deal. I'm going to make $3 or $4 million on the deal. I don't care how much money he made. Guy before him didn't make anything. So the guy before him paid less than everybody. He didn't make any money. The next guy, see, in real estate, you make your money really quick, okay? You don't make your money over time. It goes up really quick. It literally goes up in one day, 1 week, 1 month. All of a sudden, boom, the market changes. It goes up, and then it just sits flat there and pays you cash while you're there. This group bought a deal. They were in 2 years, fixed it, improved it. I come along, I'll buy it. They make a bunch of money. I love the product. I think I'm going to make more. Why? Because on my exit, I happen to know I'm paying $102 a door, $102,000 a door. Last time I was talking to you, I was paying $105. Now I'm paying $102 because I've been working the deal. Okay. I know that 100 across the street just sold for $120 a door. They don't know that. So I think I'm making money because of what's selling in the marketplace. All I got to do is raise my rents to get my NOI up high enough so some doctor can come along with $4, $5, or $6 million and give me the deal. Now, I just found you a deal, Alex, in San Diego. Write this address down, 4028 46th Street.
4028 46th Street?
Yeah. Now, this violates one of the things I said about real estate, there's only 4 units.
Yeah. Don't I want at least 5?
No, dude, you want 16, man.
Well, I'm talking about in San Diego.
Yes, you can, dude. You got to quit thinking about that. You're just thinking about your money. Why not go raise the rest of the money? If you got $150,000, why don't you go raise the other $850 you need to buy a real deal? You know why you're not doing that? Because you don't know this is what you want to do, dude.
Right.
You're half-assing it. You're trying to make plays from the bench. I'm just telling you the truth, bro. You need to know.
I got you. I understand.
No, let me tell you, if I was in San Diego, bro, I would be buying everything I get my hands on. I'd be raising money every second of every day to buy stuff because you cannot build this. You can't get more of this stuff. Okay? This is going to become like gold and silver.
Right.
So if you knew what I knew, if you were all in and knew it, you'd be like, screw the 4 units. I'm going to go raise $1 million because those are going to be more valuable than some little 4-unit deal. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just it's a little scared you never got into real estate and go straight for the big boys.
But because you don't know what you're doing. Because you haven't made a commitment to know the space.
I guess.
No, you got to know, dude. That's what I tell you guys. You guys got to know this is a home run. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Well, the prices have already gone up so much. You don't understand. This isn't going to stop tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is going to be good for another 20 years.
Would you recommend for Alex living where he wants to live, but maybe investing where the numbers make a little bit more sense? You know, maybe like in Phoenix, where the numbers are.
I think he's still only got $600,000. He's only got $150,000. So the problem is he's going to go to Phoenix and try to run a deal from out of state. They're going to kill him.
Right.
So like you guys that are sitting on 150, 50 grand, 200 grand, number one, you either need to know this. Either way, you got to know this is where you want to put your money. Okay. So when my sister calls me and says, should I put money in your new deal? I'm like, baby, I'm telling you, I know for sure, without a doubt.
Yep.
What does Warren Buffett say? The way to reduce risk is what? He doesn't say
diversify.
Diversify. He says increase your knowing.
Yep.
To know it's a good investment. I told my sister, sell your IRA or whatever retirement thing is. I don't even know what that thing's called. Sell that thing, get your freaking money, pay your penalty. I guarantee it's a great deal. You got to know it's a great deal and be willing to sell your house, everything. Okay. So Alex, man, there's deals in San Diego, bro. You need to be looking every day. You need to know deals like I know deals. Take some time, bro. Start saving money up. This gives you guys a reason to go make more money, save more money. Get $1 million in a damn bank account. My first deal, I had $1 million in a bank account before I bought my first deal. It gives you a reason to go work and hustle every day. You know, this guy's a pilot, okay? He's like, hey, I need another opportunity because the pilot thing ain't going to make me rich, okay? Theo from Atlanta. What's up, buddy? See, I would tell him, man, rather than doing the 150, go raise another 850, man. The freaking money's there, man. It's out there.
Sure.
Look, we've raised $3 million. People have called us accredited investors. Hey, I got 100, I got 200, I got 400. Grant, I don't have time to do this. In 3 weeks, how many weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. How much money? Exactly.
Million.
Almost $3 million.
Yeah.
Almost $3 million.
Yeah, 3.1.
People are like, hey, I don't have time to do it. I don't have time to run it. I don't have time to look at it. I don't have time to manage it. I don't know what I'm doing here, Grant. I trust you with the money.
Yep.
Okay.
For Alex to do that though, like he doesn't know what he's doing, so
Sure.
to go raise that kind of money, why would someone trust him?
Nobody will trust him right now because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
So you guys are trying to put the investment. You're like, I'm gonna invest 150 grand. I'm gonna make money. No, you're not. You're gonna end up making $1,500 a month on a deal. You're gonna need your money. Then you're gonna have to sell it. You know, you need to know. That means you need to spend time shopping product, learning product, understanding product. You need to know everything I'm talking about right here. This shouldn't be like, oh my God, what's he talking about? If you're overwhelmed, you don't know. It's not me. And it doesn't mean this isn't for you. This is for everyone, okay? This is the thing that every person can do unless you're making a lot of money. If you're making a lot of money, you're making 800, like my friend Tony, Bill Fonte.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're making so much money, you and your wife making so much money with the furniture stores, you got no business doing this. And by the way, you're better off investing. In fact, Alex might be better off investing 150 grand in Florida where I'm buying the same product he's buying he's paying 400 grand a unit for, I'm paying 102 grand. So where's the upside? Is there more upside in paying 400 that goes to 800 or 102 goes to 200? I don't know. I know this. We don't have a lot of problems in Florida that they have in California. Yeah. Regulations, government, roads, taxes, water. We got too much water here, not too little.
Yeah.
Okay, Theo, what's up, buddy?
I appreciate y'all taking my call. Thanks for having this show. It's great. My question is, because I'm selling all my properties right now, based on what you told me, when I'm approaching banks, how should I approach them?
What are you going to...
As far as, I'm sorry, Grant, as far as, okay, look, so I got my statement account, like you said, with Charles Schwab, but I'm talked to BB&T. They've entertained some multifamily. Do you suggest putting your money in banks that you look to get loans from, or how do you kind of build those relationships? What's your advice?
Yeah, look, here's the deal. It's a great question, number one. Number two, I wouldn't even worry about the bank right now. Banks love multifamily. This is not like getting a mortgage for a house. They're not going to lend the money to you, dude. They're going to lend the money to the deal. Mm-hmm. What I mean is the bank is going to require you to set up what's called a limited liability corporation. You don't even need to worry about it. It's called an LLC. Mm-hmm. They're going to tell you how to set it up. They're going to be like, you need a single entity LLC. Don't even worry about it. Let me tell you how important it is. How much would I worry about it?
The LLC?
Yeah. I don't worry about anything,
Not
man.
a big deal.
The bank wants me to do it. Tell me how to structure it, okay?
Exactly.
Because the bank's my partner. They're the ones that are geniuses on this, okay? So.
And Theo, one thing they're going to look at is they're going to look at your net worth compared to the value of the property, especially when you start.
But more than your net worth, I'm assuming that you're qualified. I'm assuming you're a good dude. I'm assuming you paid people because of the questions you ask. They're going to look at the property first. They're going to be like, dude.
I got a great track record. I got a great track record.
Yeah, awesome. I ain't worried about your track record. Let me tell you what they're going to ask you. They're going to ask you this. Who's going to manage your property, man? Okay? Once you prove that you pay people back, that's going to take them about 5 seconds to figure out.
Yep.
Then they're going to be like, can you operate what? The thing that they're loaning their money against. Mm-hmm. Okay? So how much money you got, Theo?
I'm selling. I mean, by the end of this year, I should have closer to 100 grand. I got 2 closings this week. I got a lot. I'm selling all my property. So it just keeps going up. Right now, 50 grand.
Yeah, but you should have how much by the end of the year?
I probably should have closer to at least 100.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're going to be looking for like probably a $400,000 deal. Maybe a little less than that. 300 grand.
Yeah, but Grant, too, I got my track record so great. My agent wants to do something with me, and then my father will also put some money up because me and my father invest together. So it'll probably be closer to $250,000. Okay, good. Now we're looking at $1 million deal. Okay, here's 12 units on Forest Park, Georgia. Here's 20 units. This is a nice looking little deal, actually. $960,000. It's 20 units. Start looking now, bro. Know everything. What city do you live in? I live in East Point, but all my properties are in the city of Atlanta. So I know the politics better in the city, but I can operate anywhere in the metro. Yeah. So there's a lot of product over there. I mean, here's a deal that's $1.2 million. It's Berkeley Park student housing, 24 units, and 8.6 cap rate. Okay. Now what that means is how much did I say it was? 1.3 million. If he paid cash for this deal, it would earn him 8%. If he puts debt on the deal, he's going to need about $300,000. He's going to finance $1 million. Okay? He's going to finance $1 million, and that 8% is going to turn into like 15%. Much better than what he's doing right now, but he needs to know. No, okay? 3 things I covered today, okay? Theo, thanks for calling in. 3 things I covered today. The myth. You make your money when you buy a deal. That is a myth, okay? You make your money when it cash flows, and you make your money when you sell, okay? The ideal thing is that it cash flows and you sell and you make money when it cash flows and when it sells, okay? That determines how much you can pay
for your deal. Okay? Remember, what you pay determines the cash flow, and what you pay, be thinking about how do I exit. If I increase my NOI, if you can increase your NOI, okay? Increase your NOI. Raise your income. I talk about this in every program I've ever done. The best way to make money is raise your income, not reduce your expenses. Raise your income and raise your expenses. Because the more you're spending on a piece of property, the more you'll be able to take care of that property and increase your income. It brings up the NOI. Okay, if you want us to look at a deal, send the deal to Ryan at CardoneAcquisitions.com. Ryan at CardoneAcquisitions.com. Ryan, R-Y-A-N, acquisitions, at CardoneAcquisitions.com. Look, if you don't have time to do a deal, if you're making a bunch of money, if you want to look at investing in our deals, we are allowing Thursday we finish our funding. So between now and Thursday, I'm doing a deal up in St. Lucie. It's a $20 million deal. It's a freaking screaming deal. I know it's a great deal. I know a great deal when I see a great deal. This is a great deal. We are inviting investors, only accredited investors, into the deal. A minimum $100,000, maximum $1 million. You must be accredited 2 years of income at $200,000.
200,000, yep.
Or net worth of $1 million. You guys that are making big money right now, you're making big money, you don't need your attention on this. Or you need to start building a little division. If you're making money and you want to do this, build a little division. Have somebody looking at deals every day, actually checking them out, seeing if they qualify, do they fit your parameters. Start building a little team of people that can look for deals, find deals for you. That's what we do here every day.
And just one thing to add. So this is a cool stat. 80% of millionaires attribute their greatest gain to real estate.
Wow.
So 80% of the highest net worth individuals contribute that to real estate. So when we're going through these questions, I'm going through a lot of questions every week.
Yeah.
They're talking about, LLC startups and LPs and all these questions that we all get caught up on.
Limited partner, general partner.
Yeah. One thing I'm going to say this week, and every single week we're going to say the same thing. Don't get caught up in the weeds and the minutia. Listen to Grant. What he's telling you is to continue to think bigger and just go out there, look at properties, make offers. Because if you're not making offers, that's one thing I learned early on. If you're not making offers, and look, here's a quick rule of thumb, okay? If you have a property, a 4-plex, an 8-plex, or whatever it is, and it's making $2,000 every single month in income, offer $200,000 a month. You could either call it the 1% rule.
$200,000.
$200,000, yeah. It's the 1% rule.
Whatever your gross income is.
Yeah, the 1% rule.
Yeah.
So don't get caught up in all the numbers. Just go out there, start looking at properties, making offers, creating these relationships, because without relationships, you won't get any deals.
But look, it's got to make sense, okay? No matter how much money you make every month, a guy's like, man, I'm making 40% of my money. Dude, you're making $400 a month. You don't spend 40%, okay? You don't spend a return. You can brag about it, okay? But if it's making $400, you can make $400 washing windows. I don't need to buy an apartment deal to make $400. If you're going to make $400 a month, right? Make $400 a month in your main business. Start looking how to scale out. Like me and Jared did a deal. We didn't make much money the first year. What did we make, Jared? Did it make anything the first year?
Not a whole lot.
Okay.
70 grand, 80 grand.
The thing went from being worth $5 million. We had $1 million in it. Me and him bought a deal together. We had $1 million in the deal. We didn't make any income the first year. Maybe it made 7% or 8% or something. It was nothing. Second year, bam, it starts doing better. Okay, and now the deal's probably worth $9 or $10 million. I mean, our money's going to be made on the exit. So that's what I want you to think about. Sooner or later, this ain't a wife. You're going to want to get rid of this thing. Okay, it's not a dog that you're going to keep till it dies. This thing won't die. Okay, this thing will live forever. It'll outlive 4 Great Danes. It could be here 30 years from now. I owned one deal for 22 years. I had refinanced it 4 times, okay? Made money the whole time. Cash flowed, refinance, it made me money. I sell it, it made me money. You want to make money on the exit, okay? We'll help you determine whether your deal will work or not. Ryan at CardoneAcquisitions.com. Every Monday we do this show. Tuesday we do Network Marketing Moguls. If you know somebody earning $1 million a year in network marketing, I want to know who they are. Wednesday is the G&E Show. Thursday's Young Hustlers. Friday is the Cardone Zone. Every day we're here at Grant Cardone TV. If you haven't gotten the app yet, it's mygctv.com, mygctv.com. Subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, subscribe, hit the like, comment, ask questions. We want to help you. That's Captain Ryan. My name's Grant Cardone. This is Real Estate Investing Made Simple. By the way, if you want to get the book to your high school, to your kids' school, man, send me an email to obsessed@grantcardone.com. Everybody that buys one book, I'm putting you part of my mastermind, 13-week mastermind. We're going to go over the book. And if you can help me with your local community, charity, I don't know, what would it be? Mastermind group. If you want to start a mastermind, if you want to start it with your kids, your employees, hey, send me an email to obsessed@grantcardone.com. We're trying to get that book in every high school.
What's the goal?
America.
What's the goal? What do we have to hit?
36,000.
36,000.
We did 6,800 books this weekend. I got 30,000 books left. So if you can help me with 1 book, 2 books, 5 books, 10 books, 200, 500, I'll distribute, I'll ship, I'll handle it. Send me an email to obsessed@grantcardone.com or go to grantcardone.com, obsessed kids. grantcardone.com/obsessed kids, because I want to give kids, your kids, obsession. I want to give them the permission to be obsessed. Thanks a lot.
There's only one company you need to know in telecommunications, and that's Bullfrog. Bullfrog is so advanced and so in the future, you don't even need a desk phone anymore to run a business. Integrate right now with what you and your employees already pay for, their cell phone. Run an entire business from there, from group chat to monitoring to call forwarding, and we will guarantee that you never experience a drop call again. You can save an extra $60,000 a year with Bullfrog and the plans that they have for your company. And for your free trial, go to bullfrog.net. That's bullfrog.net for your free trial of this outstanding service. Go to bullfrog.net for your free trial right now.